The human transport system really involves the heart and then a series of blood vessels. So we can travel the journey of blood through the body. And blood's really important. It contains red blood cells, which carry oxygen. It contains white blood cells, and they fight disease. It also contains platelets, which clot the blood so that we don't bleed ourselves if we cut to death. And it also contains blood plasma, which contains things like nutrients and hormones and salts and all the things that we need to survive. So if we look at the heart here, what happens is blood comes into the heart via the vena cava. So it either comes in through the inferior vena cava or it comes in through the superior vena cava. But this is how blood comes into the heart. And it comes into basically the right atrium. So this is the first chamber of the heart. Blood comes into the right atrium, goes through this tricuspid valve and then into the right ventricle. So valves actually stop the blood going back the wrong way. Right atrium, right ventricle, it then leaves the heart via the pulmonary artery. And the pulmonary artery actually takes the blood. So when the blood leaves the pulmonary artery, it actually goes to the lungs. So really the right side of our heart is responsible for pumping blood to our lungs. And of course in our lungs, the blood gets oxygenated. So once the blood is then oxygenated, it comes back in. So it's been to the lungs, it comes back in through the pulmonary vein and it comes into the left atrium here. It then goes through another valve, this time a mitral valve, into the left ventricle. And then it leaves the left ventricle through the biggest artery in our bodies called the aorta. And then the blood travels all the way to the rest of the body. Now, while we're looking at the heart quickly, I do want to point out something here, and that is the size of the muscles. So the heart is a muscle. So this side of the heart, this muscle, if you ever dissect a heart, you can really see it. This muscle here is really quite a big muscle, whereas the muscle on the right side of the heart is a smaller muscle. So it's still a muscle, but it's smaller. And the reason that this muscle, the right side of the heart, is a smaller muscle is that the right side of the heart only has to pump blood to the lungs. So that's not very far away from the heart. Whereas the left side of the heart, this left ventricle here, that's a huge muscle and that squeezes the blood and pushes it through the aorta, but then to the rest of the body. So it's got to push the blood all the way up to our head and all the way down to our toes. So that's why the left side of the heart has got a far bigger muscle. But when the blood leaves the heart, so through the aorta, the blood leaves the heart, it goes through a series of arteries. So arteries carry blood away from the heart. The arteries then turn into smaller blood vessels, and the smaller blood vessels are called arterioles. And then arterioles become capillaries. And capillaries is where oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange takes place. So the capillaries rush past every single cell in the body. So if a cell has got not enough oxygen, the cell will take oxygen from the blood and it will put carbon dioxide into the blood. The blood obviously also carries all the other nutrients that cells need to survive around the body. So once the blood has delivered its nutrients and oxygen to the cells of the body and collected any waste products really, things like carbon dioxide, it will then travel through venules, so these are small veins, and then through bigger veins, and then of course once it's travelled through the bigger veins, it will travel all the way back to the biggest vein in the body, the vena cava, and will start the whole process again. Right atrium, right ventricle, pulmonary artery to the lungs, pulmonary vein back into the left atrium, left ventricle, through the aorta, through the arterioles, capillaries, to all of the cells of the body. And that is a really good summary of the transport system, which is really important for delivering things around our body, but also collecting wastes.